Welcome back to Rural Focus here on Triple M, and it's a welcome in from the Regional Finance Hub on behalf of the Triple R Women's Network. We have business owner Sarah Lang. Good morning to you, Sarah.
Morning, David. Appreciate you having me on the show.
It's always a pleasure having yourself on here. So now you have been a part of the Triple R Women's Network. Before we get into that, a little bit of about yourself.
Sure. So I grew up on a family farm in Glengarry, Victoria, and after uni spent 15 years in commercial and agri-banking at ANZ before leaving about 4.5 years ago, I suppose it was now, to start my own business, Regional Finance Hub. So we do two things. Number one, finance broking, which helps rural and regional businesses such as farmers get access to bank capital. And secondly, finance consulting, so helping farmers and regional businesses plan their normal seasonal cash flow.
That sounds excellent for the farmers out there. So now, I understand you've previously served as the chairperson of the Triple R Women's Network. Can you share some highlights or even some key experiences of your time in that role?
Oh, there's a lot. I was the chair for 4 years as well as treasurer for 1 year prior to that. So 5 years in total with the Triple R. And I think the highlight probably from my time, and I'm still involved, was definitely the lifelong friendships, connections and networks that I developed. I met so many fabulous and inspiring women through the Triple R. And I think one thing that people notice when walking into a Triple R event is you're never left alone standing by yourself. Someone always greets you straight away, and there's always people there to have a yarn, which is so welcoming. But probably the reason Triple R is so dear to my heart is not only what they do for rural and regional communities, but it was also my first board role. So it was a huge learning curve, but I guess you've got to start somewhere. I'm just forever grateful for the many people who provided support, encouragement and the occasional constructive criticism, which enabled me to grow into the role.
That is excellent to hear. So now you're currently going to be the guest speaker at Cultivate. What can you tell attendees to expect from your talk?
So a couple of things we'll talk about. One of those will be the changing role of women and the roles that they've played in businesses, especially farm businesses and rural and regional businesses. So no longer are women just the person who cooks, cleans and look after the kids, but a lot of women out there now are, and they still call themselves mothers and female farmers, but what they actually are CFOs of multi-million-dollar businesses, which some farmers are now. So we'll talk about that changing role and how it looks in today's world. And we'll also cover off how important it is for access to bank funding so that farmers can feed the world and how farmers can best set themselves up for a successful bank application. But then we'll also talk about some of the gaps that still exist and the need for more resources for financial education, as well as some of the barriers to accessing these resources for regional women.
Some very interesting topics there, and you seem very passionate about helping women strengthen their financial knowledge. Why is this cause so important to you, and how are you working to make a difference?
I think the more knowledge women have about finance, the better equipped they are to make better, more informed decisions within their businesses. And better decision making in regional and rural businesses ensure that these regional businesses are profitable, which is extremely important because profitable businesses in the regions drives regional prosperity. And education is a big part of what I do in my consulting work, and teaching women key financial drivers, how to understand their financials and their cash flow, and ways to manage their own cash flow so that they've got the tools to make those better decisions, especially when it comes to the tough times.
That is excellent to hear, and hopefully you're obviously enjoying it. There's a lot of passion there. All the best for it. Before I let you go, anything else you'd like to share with the listeners?
Just at the Triple R Network's Cultivate event, that's being held on 18th of October from 9:30 a.m. at the Ingot Hotel. Grab your tickets before they sell out, and you can get those on the Triple R Network's website or some of their social pages, and that's sure to be a great event.
Absolutely excellent to be chatting with you. Thank you for keeping us up to date and all the best for the future.
Thanks, David. Have a lovely day.
That was Sarah Lang, a business owner of a regional finance hub, on behalf of the Triple R Women's Network here on Rural Focus Triple M.